Read.
Yeah, I can read too.
Good, bro.
So I have to start from the beginning, like chapter 15. Yeah, chapter 15, Bhajan Pranali. Gadai Gauranga Jai Jai Nityananda. Jai Sita Nath Jai Gaur Bhaktavinda. The Lord said, Haridas, by your devotion you have received all knowledge available in the universe. All the Vedas are dancing on your tongue. All the conclusions of scriptures are in your speech. Now speak clearly about the rasa, sentiment or mellow of the holy name. How does the jiva get qualification for the rasa of the name? Haridas in great bliss said, through your inspiration, I will describe it. The highest, purest state, the perfection of the absolute truth, is called rasa. This rasa is not the emotions or sentiment of the material world, but it is the inherent nature of the absolute pure. It is unlimited, full of bliss, and the greatest glory. The absolute truth reveals his variegated character through his energies, which are inseparable from the very existence, abhinna. His energies create the variegated spiritual world, which is prerequisite to rasa. Through his spiritual energy, Krishna reveals his form, name, dham, and activities. The supreme truth is known as Krishna with a Shyam Sundara form residing in Golok Dham, performing his sweet pastimes with his devotees. Thus, variety and rasa exist in the Lord due to his spiritual energies, which cannot be separated or differentiated from the substance of the Lord, Abhinna. In this way, the absolute truth remains supreme, whole, akhanda, beyond duality, advaita, and simultaneously engages in transcendental world full of beautiful forms, activities, and emotions. The shadow energy of the Lord's spiritual energy is called Maya. By this, by the will of Krishna, this energy creates the material world outside of the spiritual dimension. Through his Jiva Shakti, he creates the innumerable souls situated between the material and spiritual worlds, similar in quality to Krishna, but infinitesimal in size. Because of their borderline quality, the Jivas are of two types: eternally bound Jivas and eternally liberated Jivas. Those who are eternally liberated are qualified as Krishna's eternal servants in the spiritual sky, and those who are eternally bound engage and those who are eternally bound engage and suffer in the material shadow away from Krishna. The jivas dwelling in the material world are of two types: those taking Krishna's name and associating with devotees who will go to the spiritual world of rasa by the power of the name, and those who ignore Krishna and toil hopelessly for rasa in relation to inert matter. The gradual realization of rasa in the name is compared to the blossoming of a flower. The name is compared to a flower in bud when it is spread to the general mass of people in the world. When one realizes the beautiful form of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan through continual chanting of the name, that is compared to the partially opened flower. Continuing sadhana, further, when Krishna's 64 qualities become revealed in the name, that is compared to the fragrance of the half opened flower. When one realizes the eternal pastimes of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan, the flower is in full bloom. Then, by the great mercy of the name, the original energies of Hladini, bliss, and Samvit, consciousness belonging to the spiritual world, whose prime embodiment is Radharani, unite in the form of Bhakti Devi and descend upon the small jiva, who possesses only a small portion of Hladini and Samvit energy. From the transcendental realm, Bhakti Devi reveals to the jiva the full rasa in the name and by her mercy, the Jiva takes on his spiritual body and enters into the pastimes and tastes rasa. There are four ingredients of rasa: vibhava, anubhava, satvika bhava, and vyabhichari, sanchari bhava. The mixture of these ingredients produces rasa. Vibhava, the general cause for rasa, is divided into alambana and uddipana. Alambana means the root cause and that upon which the rasa depends. It is divided into ashraya, the recipient, who is the devotee, and vishraya, the object, who is Krishna. Uddipana, the instigation, is composed of the form and qualities of Krishna, which are realized through constant chanting. Thus, where there is alambana, devotee and Krishna, and uddipana, Krishna's quality, leelas and rasa can occur. When the conditions of vibhava are perfected, anubhava, external symptoms of internal emotions, appears. These symptoms are all based on pure spiritual love and can in no way be compared to the symptoms of love in the material world. Gradually, as emotions deepen, sattvika and vyabhachari bhavas, additional symptoms appear. By the combination of these ingredients, the initial sthai bhava, primary mood of the devotee, transformed to rasa, full spiritual flavors. The situation of tasting rasas in the spiritual world is the highest perfection, the ultimate goal of the jiva, according to the scriptures. There are four goals for man mentioned in the Vedas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These, however, are meant to lead to the supreme goal, parama purushartha rasa. One who is fully liberated is qualified for rasa. The path for attaining rasa is as follows. The jiva who has attained faith in bhakti receives a pure Vaishnava guru. That guru gives the Maha Mantra. The jiva will take the mantra either in the form of smarna, remembering the name, or kirtana, chanting the name, regulating himself by counting on tulsi beads. Gradually, as his craving for the name increases, he will increase to 3 times 64 rounds. Of the two forms of taking the name, Kirtana is more powerful, for in that process are combined Shravana, Kirtana, and Smarna, and by it the senses of Jiva dance in joy. By taking shelter of any of the 9 processes of bhakti, one progresses in devotion. But of the 9 processes, chanting is the best. Those who have an attraction for deity worship will reach perfection only by also engaging in hearing and chanting of the name. But those who have exclusive attraction for the name need only engage in hearing, chanting, and remembering the name. If one execute these 3 processes nicely, all the other 9 processes of bhakti, serving the lotus feet, praying, servitude, and complete self-surrender, can also be accomplished. Okay, so there's a there's a lot of great information here. But I think if I have to summarize, I think I'll just say that Srila Haridas Thakur is trying to explain the importance of chanting and also the process of chanting. Like what happens when you when you go when you start chanting, so he has compared it with a bird which transforms into a first it opens little bit, then it gives fragrance, and then the flower is fully blossom. So and then he is explaining that what happens, right? How do you feel this rasa? How you are able to experience the spiritual pastimes by the different spiritual energies of Lord. He talked about Ladini Shakti and one more Shakti. I forgot what was that. Sanchit, Samvit, Ladni and Samvit. Those two he talked about. So yeah, so And Guru Maharaj also talks about it. My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj. We oftentimes ask, should we look at the picture of Krishna or should we imagine the pastimes? He says, no, you just chant and the name will reveal itself in due course of time. That's what Maharaj says. The name will reveal pastime, form, and different leelas of Krishna as you're chanting uh, perfects slowly. So I think we should have faith in the process. If Srila Haridas Thakur is saying, if our acharyas are saying this to us, that we should have the patience, that if we follow this process religiously and if we focus on chanting and if we are sincere about chanting, then slowly, the forms and pastimes and all the realizations will come. And when they start coming, that's when we will feel the rasa. That's when we'll feel the enjoyment within, right? And here it's mentioned this is not comparable to material rasa. So like we can say like how we feel good after eating something nice or seeing something nice. This is a higher level taste. So we'll feel that. So we can't compare it to any material rasa we get here. So anyway, I just wish for each one of you and for myself that one day we can enter in that state uh, where, by chanting sincerely, we start experiencing these rasas.